it's starting to get bad. Crime is running rampant these days. I mean, you've got your classic smash and grabs, break and enters, and even Grand Theft Auto. But now, criminals are getting really creative and bold. I'm not just talking about accidentally forgetting to scan an item at the self-checkout. Thieves are getting more elaborate, more organized, and frankly, ballsy as f***. We're gonna look at some of the most hilarious, alarming, and questionable thieves in recent months, and you're not gonna wanna miss the last one. People will steal damn near anything these days that has any value. It doesn't matter what it is. But before we get into the first video, a subscription to the channel would be exemplary. First up is your classic jewelry store heist, but this one, well, take a look for yourself. This feels like something straight out of like a Looney Tunes cartoon. The security guards aren't doing anything to stop these guys, and honestly, I get it. They're probably told not to intervene in something like this, but it's just comical how it's like a bunch of ragtag kids slipping on broken glass on the way out, just walking away from the crime as if nothing happened. In Canada, the guards take video because if he tackles him, something could happen to the burglar and he could charge for assault. I mean, this commenter is obviously joking, but it's founded in some truth. Even if they do get caught, nothing's really gonna happen. I mean, let's be honest. In NZ, security guards were told not to confront offenders because their own life is more important and not worth taking the risk, and thieves know that. I mean, this is just it, right? Thieves know that they can get away with this stuff in broad daylight, and while security guards can perform like a citizen's arrest, it's just not worth risking their life if these criminals have weapons on them, which you never know, and so you end up with situations like this that just are objectively hilarious. Here's the thing that I find the most interesting is that there was probably very little planning that went into this. I don't think this involved some kind of crazy scheme. They probably just figured that this jewelry store in this mall was underprotected and was an easy target, so they just went for it. There's a huge general theme that we're gonna see throughout this video that the lack of consequences for these criminals is inherently what incentivizes them to perform the crime. But let's get into the next video.
Julvi and Lloyd Maputal, both of Richmond Hill, were arrested Thursday. Police say last August an elderly victim reported that nearly $1 million had been withdrawn from their bank account without their knowledge. After an investigation, 2 suspects were identified. One who was employed to care for the victim even accessed their banking information. Lloyd is currently practicing as a registered nurse, and Julvi is employed as a personal support worker. Officers charged the pair with several offenses, including fraud, theft over $5,000, and laundering proceeds of crime.
As someone who had a grandma in a retirement home and knows many people who have their parents and their grandparents in retirement homes as well, to see this happen is incredibly disheartening. It's hard to say what exactly happened here because there's not much information to go on, but if I had to guess, the victim's family probably wasn't too involved in their life, and so that might explain why they handed over their banking information to their caretakers, which is like not a good idea at all, ever, to just hand your banking information over to anybody. But if you don't have someone in your family who's helping you take care of paying bills and managing your money and stuff, someone's got to do it. Arrested, let out on bail, then will disappear with all the money. So a week in jail. Crime pays. Circling back to that common theme, the incentive to commit a crime is very high considering the punishment is not harsh enough to de-incentivize people from committing these crimes in the first place. Even if you're caught, you can still profit off of crime, which is insane work, honestly. I feel like we're in this period of time where it's every man for themselves, and people have no problem f***ing over someone else just to get ahead. It's a complete unwinding of the social fabric that society is based on, and the sense of common decency has been thrown out the window.
The owner of a power sports gear retailer in Paris is picking up the pieces from a burglary on the weekend.
Saturday's wild winter storm kept many motorists off the road, but at Brantford Suzuki in Paris, some unwanted visitors showed up that night around 9:30. You can see 2 trucks pull into the dealership, one with a trailer. Then a truck repeatedly backs into one of the service bays.
It took out the whole bay door, 4 people entered the dealership in the service space and they started helping themselves.
This is what I mean, man. It doesn't matter who it is, who you're stealing from, what they have. None of that matters anymore. People are fighting for themselves, taking from others. And the problem with that is that people look at that and go, okay, why can they do it and get away with it? And I'm stuck here following the rules, trying to keep some social integrity, but I'm watching other people get ahead by breaking the rules. This is how crime becomes more widespread. When the people who are following the rules, doing their fair share, and participating in the system are suffering because the people who are taking advantage of the system, taking advantage of the social norms, are getting further ahead, that just makes everyone question why they're doing what they're doing. And it results in this, if you can't beat them, join them mentality.
They stole 3 brand new Suzuki King Quads. They stole 2 Warren winches and plows.
Equipment that certainly isn't cheap.
When I look around at the value of the quads that they stole and the damage they did to the bay door, probably about $50,000, $60,000 in damage, and somebody has to pay for that.
Despite having several security cameras and measures in place, it didn't seem to matter.
Every one of my vehicles has a grip lock on it, which prevents people from rolling these machines out. So these guys came in and actually picked them up physically, 4 guys, and these are heavy machines. They're not light, they're heavy. And what's unbelievable is they were in and out of here in 5 minutes.
Petrella did report this to provincial police and says they are investigating. CTV News reached out to Brant County OPP, but we did not hear back in time for air.
It's really sickening, to be quite honest with you. It just hurts you right in the stomach.
I couldn't agree more. Sickening is an understatement. It's actually crazy. Doesn't matter if you have locks. Doesn't matter if you have cameras. These thieves don't care. They will find a way around it. Okay, so this next video I want to show you at first seems like just your ordinary car theft, but it actually goes much deeper and supports what I've already been saying in this video. Okay, so still just seems a little crazy, just your ordinary car theft, but let's take a look at what the news had to say about this suspect.
According to the Toronto Police Association, the 32-year-old suspect has 75 past convictions and was out on bail for other charges related to auto theft and evading police.
She said it all right there. A 32-year-old with over 70 previous convictions is still granted bail. What are we doing? Clearly, the punishments are not harsh enough to de-incentivize these kind of guys from continuing to pursue crime like this. 70 plus convictions. How is this guy not locked away for the rest of his life already? To say he has shown a pattern of behavior would be an understatement. How is it that people like this can go walk the streets? I don't understand. Can we just talk about what an incredible waste of resources it is to have 50 or even like more realistically 30 cops on the scene for this guy, a guy who should already be locked up for the rest of his life. Like, this one dude has been convicted of 70 different things before this incident. So how much of his day did this arrest waste? What an incredible inconvenience for this poor guy, eh? Like, this guy's got shit to do. He's got cars to steal. Like, what are the police doing? Okay, so this last robbery is really weird.
More than $1 million worth of olive oil was stolen from a Montreal trucking company this week. Police say another transport company with specialized trucks picked up the oil and was supposed to make a delivery. The client never received the shipment, and the theft was reported on Wednesday. Dalhousie University professor Sylvain Charlebois says olive oil is popular for thieves because it's resellable.
With cheese and olive oil, well, it's a middle ground sort of product. It is expensive, but not that expensive.
There have been no arrests so far, and the investigation continues.
We got people stealing trucks of olive oil. What is going on? What they say, $1 million of olive oil? People will steal damn near anything. Despicable, diabolical, really. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, and you may as well subscribe while you're down there. And if you want to watch a video about how car theft is just out of control these days, click this video here.